even if you already have a Medicare plan you're satisfied with. A Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits may be available.
I don't know. There's not gonna be nobody on there Saturday.
Is this invention going to put eye doctors out of business?
I'm looking. Is there anybody on here? This is taking way too long. Oops, I got my hand on the cam. Okay. I don't know if anybody's there or not, but I'll clean this off. I don't know if anybody's there or not, but I'll clean this off. Okay. Hang on, I'm going outside. I think I'm trying a different way to hook microphones up on this piece of shit. And then I'll explain later. Yeah, they added something different in settings. Now I have to go in a button. If I want to watch vertical, I gotta click that. If I want to watch horizontal, I gotta click that. Where before it was automatic. I think I'm about ready for an iPad. We'll figure out a different way of doing this. I don't know.
Right.
Can you say us both? Should be able to. Let's put it like that. I don't even know if anybody's going to even be on here. We've never done this on Saturday morning before.
Yeah.
Everybody's shopping, everybody's looking. I don't even have my phone. Anyway, anybody on there?
I haven't got there yet.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, y'all. Surprise! Yeah, since we weren't able to do this Wednesday because of a little technical trouble, we're going to try it today. Might not be a whole lot of people here, but what the heck? We got nothing else to do, right? I kind of go over what I said Wednesday. I said that this October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I had my pink on Wednesday, I just don't today. But I've got my bracelet on. But get the girls checked. It's important, you know. It was important for me, and still I don't have an appointment until December because they're pretty full. You know, the birds are coming, and so everything's filling up pretty fast. So call and get your appointment. It's important. You never think it's going to happen to you until it does. And as I've seen a lot of ladies that had that in mind. And I never got one until I moved down here. And I found the lump. But like I said, it doesn't have to work that way. Sometimes you don't find anything. You need the mammogram. You need to be checked really, really good. And there's just so many people you wouldn't believe. And I wasn't able to take part in the walk this year or the Party in Pink for breast cancer, but still it's a good thing. I mean, it's very important. So go get your checkup. And I don't know what happened to Skipper. Hopefully he's got things under control here. He gets very upset when he doesn't. You've seen that. But I just got back from a trip with some friends of mine. And we went to Eustace, which is not that far away. It's only maybe 30 miles from here. Cute downtown, just a really, really cute downtown. Went to a place called Peddler's Wagon. And it's a home decor store. But let me tell you, they got more home decors than anything I've ever seen. And they've got several rooms full. And they go around with hors d'oeuvres and drinks. You can have a cocktail, you can have hors d'oeuvres while you're shopping. It's the craziest thing. But there's a lot of little stores and shops and everything in the downtown area, and I would recommend it. You know, if you guys are out for the day and just need something to do, I said go to Eustace. They have a beautiful downtown and the river area on Lake Eustace. It's good too. We ate at the Crazy Gator. Hopefully, I have a video up eventually, but it was good too. It's just a neat little town to poke around in. I love those places. Now, let's see. Okay. So, let me know, guys. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me okay? I don't know without you telling me. So let me see. Well, I got yes, Craig, we decided to do this today. Well, Skip decided to do this day. I got home and he was setting up out here. So we don't normally do this on Saturday, but since we made such a mess out of Wednesday, we decided to try it on Saturday. And as you can see, he's not here. He's in checking on something. Can you hear me okay? That's the main thing. They said, when they make an update, sometimes we don't always get the update right away, and that's kind of what happened. So, but I think we've got it under control now. We'll see.
What?
Okay, nothing.
Nothing what?
Nothing, I was done talking.
We say nothing. I don't know what you mean when you say nothing. Like, can I hear you?
Well, I'm looking to see.
You've been out here talking all this
I
time.
hear you loud and clear. Do you feel the villages have gotten too big and way too expensive? No, I mean.
Can they hear you?
He said yes, he can hear loud and clear.
Well, I mean, do they hear the microphone, or does it sound like you're 500 miles away from this?
Loud and clear, I think they can hear me.
Okay,
Quit
yelling at me. I'm an old man.
Okay. And that was from Steve Muskoskas. Yeah. And Craig Morrison says loud and clear too. So evidently they can hear us.
Yeah, I'm going to explain a little bit as soon as I tried it on the house for some reason. I didn't have chat on this. I don't know why. This bullshit's really starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Well, we got 24 watching right now.
Huh?
24 watching right now.
24. See, I told you nobody would be here. Nobody's expecting this on Saturday.
Well, no.
They're all shopping.
And that's what I was doing, so, you know.
That's what I said. So I knew there'd be hardly nobody here.
Well, I said we're just starting out, so they'll come.
All this, well, I ain't got my microphone.
If you
on
build
yet.
it.
All this is I just wanted to see if the microphones were working because I got them hooked up a total different way. Why they're even working is beyond me. I've got these two microphones now plugged in with a 3.5 jack, and it's plugged into the headphones part of the iPad, not the microphone part.
Craig says it sounds like you're 5 foot away.
Me?
Yeah. So we're 5 foot away.
I got the microphone 3 inches from my mouth, so I shouldn't sound like I'm 5 foot away. That means that he's not hearing this microphone.
Well, and I said loud and clear to me means you're fine.
I don't get where you say that. If he says I sound like I'm 5 feet away.
Okay. I hear Sue, not Skip. Now I can with the mic.
What does that mean? I hear Sue, but I don't hear Skip, but now I can with the mic.
You put the mic up there by your mouth so you can
Well,
hear
I
it.
know a while ago I had to laying down. Follow me with this. You're making me confused, and I'm getting upset with all this crap. If you can hear me now, then that means the microphone's working. A while ago, if you couldn't hear me, that also means the microphone's working because now it's way over there. This is how you have to test this stuff. I don't have $1 million worth of equipment out here. So let me put this thing on and bring it up on my YouTube, and then I'll explain to everybody what's going on and the future of port setting.
You sound perfect. The microphones are working.
Oh, they're just saying that now because they just don't want me to get upset.
Yeah. Sounds wall to wall when you're holding the mic.
Wall to wall. That sounds like trucker talk right there. Wall to wall and treetop tall.
It means chill out. It's working.
Hammer down to Bakertown. Gonna see Mom on the shore.
Oh, God. So do that.
By the way, did you see the latest picture that Judy sent of Jasmine? I'd love to have that dog.
I know, but she's not yours.
I know it, but I like to have a dog with that attitude. She has got the best laid back, don't give a damn attitude. Take it, leave it. I don't care. This is the way I'm sleeping today. And wait, did she send you one?
I haven't looked.
I think she sent it just to me.
Okay.
I don't get on that thing that you guys do.
Well, I
We're
said
three
we
or
do the
four of you
group
on
chat because we can.
Oh, I got to bring my phone back up again.
Yeah. But anyhow, yes, Mark, he needs his Xanax.
All I need is just the stuff. And every time we have this problem, the fingers are pointed at me, and we get them insulting things. You even said it. So one guy said, well, that wasn't very professional. And then you defended him and not me, when you know, as well as I do, it wasn't me or anything else. It was the updates. Every time they update something, I'm having trouble with my editor now that I paid for. They updated it. And now I can't get one of them to open up, and I've been sending them emails, and they keep saying, well, it's on this over here now. Well, I don't know why I wish they had a button on there where I could say, turn off all updates.
Well, they're not going to do that because a lot of times it's a security thing.
The thing of it is I paid for it. It's mine.
Yeah.
And they don't have the right to move my stuff around, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, obviously they do.
Well, what are you going to do when the people that owns all this electronic stuff is in a foreign country?
Yeah. Hi, all from Stonecrest. Well, hello, Stonecrest. How are you today? I'm thinking of I'm taking the ladies' lunch to Polly's at the Oaks, which is Continental Country Club this week, and I'm thinking maybe next month we'll try the Cheers at Stonecrest. I've been there before, and I think the ladies would enjoy being outside of the neighborhood.
Oh, there's chat. My chat's back.
But I said
Okay.
today I ate at the Grazy Gator in Eustace. Very good, very good.
Skip,
Right on
you're
the water.
making us nervous. Calm down. This is how I get over things. When I drove a truck and I was in it by myself, and I'm driving all night to say from Minneapolis to Atlanta, Georgia, because I got to be in Atlanta by 7 a.m. Atlanta time. I'm just giving you an analysis here. You didn't want to hear anything I said inside the cab of this truck. And that's how I get rid of my pressure.
Now, Whistledown says there is a button on the iPad to turn updates off.
It ain't got nothing to do with the iPad. It's got to do with like YouTube. I can turn the notifications off of my iPad. That means they can't update my iPad. But it doesn't stop them from updating YouTube, because YouTube is in charge of YouTube, not me.
Okay.
I wish I had a button on my YouTube channel, because I am part of Google, which is part of YouTube, where I could just simply say, turn off all updates. But I can't. Google doesn't allow that.
Okay.
But anyway, let me explain real quick what's going on. Reason why we couldn't do port setting, because I know I'm going to get these comments talking about how stupid I am and I can't get all this stuff done and blah, blah, blah. I got one last night where a guy says, I don't like what the man says and I don't watch his videos. Well, it's nice that he watched the video to make that comment.
And another one didn't like your politics.
I don't have politics.
Well,
Listen, here's how the news is going to go. Just for you guys that don't like it, then you can leave now, because I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. Anything that affects the villages, or the village's residents, or the village's lifestyle, the way I see it, I'm going to read that news. I am not going to be like Fox or CBS or whatever and pick and choose what I want you to hear. I'm going to let you hear all of it, and then you guys use your own judgment of what you want to do or not do with the information that you get, not just here, but you get them from other people. That's it. That's the way it works. So when people say they don't want me to talk about politics, I generally don't. I don't hardly ever talk about any politics. But if there's some politics that goes on that affects the lifestyle here and homes and the residents, I'm going to report that. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Now, let me get to the thing. The reason why we couldn't do port setting, and we were out here to do it, for some reason on this iPad, the way I've been setting it up for, how long have we been doing port setting now? 2 years, 3 years, a long time. This isn't like it's our first rodeo. for some reason it wouldn't accept the microphones, and I'm plugging them in with the exact same equipment and everything, and it wouldn't work. So instead of messing around here and wasting everybody's time, I just cut it, and I said I'm going to go figure this out. Went inside. There was no updates on the iPad, and this only affects the iPad. There was no updates on the iPad, none. And so I'm trying to figure out, is there something in the settings? And I went to the settings, God, a dozen times. Everything was on. I sent an email to Apple, and they told me that the acceptance of external microphones was automatic. All you had to do was plug them in, and it was automatic. And it had been automatic all this time. We never had a problem. All of a sudden it quit. So they said they recommended that I wrap it up and send it back to the factory. Listen, this is an old Apple iPad. It's like an iPad 2, and they're up to something like iPad, I don't even know now, 19, 20, I don't even know. This thing is old. I bought it used, but it worked. The system we use here is very simple. I like simple setups. I don't like complicated stuff. I got enough of that in the studio and they're editing video. But for coming out here and just sitting and talking, I want to just plug and play and talk. That's all I want to do. And I don't care how unprofessional it looks. That's just the way I want to do it. Well, I couldn't figure it out, and finally I decided I'm going to have to get another iPad, and I really don't want to do that because the new iPad now is over $500, and I just didn't want to do it. And I don't know that any of this microphones would plug into a new iPad. They're all different, and so, you know, I don't know. I almost decided, you know, we'll just do port sitting some other way, use a cell phone or something. But I got on I think it was YouTube channel, and there was a guy talking about a different way of hooking up microphones on an iPad. Well, there's 19 different iPads and they all have a different system. So I'm watching this thing and it says something about plugging these doggles in to your headphones. I got boxes of stuff. And so I'll tell you that. I do. So I'm going through all my wiring things, and I found these doggles that plugged into this thing, and so I thought, well, I'll try it. What the heck? So last night I plugged them in. I went to a video recording, and I run a test on it, uploaded it on my YouTube channel, went to my YouTube channel and listened to it, and I could hear everything. And I thought, maybe I can do it this way. Okay, that's the way we're doing it right now. That's why I had her test to make sure the microphones are working okay. The question is, now I know there's something wrong with this iPad on the inside, electronically, where we've been plugging the microphones in. Well, now I'm over here on this side of the, and I don't know if they're all connected through circuits or not, is how long is this going to last? Am I going to come out here next week and plug this in and find out now it don't work? And that's what happens, because I don't use this iPad for nothing else but this. And so from one week to the next, if they make changes on the system or whatever, I never know that until I plug this in, and at the last minute, it ain't working.
Okay.
So
you know, y'all that are doing the video, you know, take note that this is a problem.
It ain't just me. It's
that's
everybody
what I said,
has
it
the
is a
same problem. This is why most of your YouTubers don't want to go live. They don't want to look stupid when things happen.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, but you know that Skipper is a genius when it comes to this stuff, but he has to settle down and then he figures it out every time. But yeah, I said he gets upset. But like I said, when he settles down, then he usually comes up with an answer every time. We did that with the motorhome when nothing would work. So we went to dinner. He had a good night's sleep. The next morning, he had it figured out. So I said that's what happens with this stuff. And I'm not technical at all. I know nothing about how any of this works. I'd love to be able to go live on my phone, because like the place I was just at.
Oh, I can show her how to do that. That's easy peasy on the phone. Easy peasy.
But I don't know how. And I said, it'd been nice the place I was just at. I could have had a video or uploaded a live thing and showed them where I was at, because it was wonderful.
The hard part is you want to go live on my channel.
Well, yeah.
And you
I
can't
don't
do
have
that.
a channel.
You don't have a channel.
Yeah.
But I think there's a way that I can put you as like my channel manager.
Yeah.
And then you can go live on my channel.
Well, yeah, if Rester can do it, I can do it.
Well, he's the manager of my channel, but he never goes live on it.
Yeah.
He just watches things in the background and things. I got a hold of him last night about a couple of things. Anyway, he can let's just say that he can get on there. He, like when we got hacked by those guys in Ukraine, he got on there, notified me, brought me on there, and then we got it all straightened out.
Right. But like I could do, I do a lot of traveling, doing different things, and like I can show you a lot of stuff live, and that way you don't have to download and edit and all that kind of stuff. But I just never knew how to do that.
Craig Morris, while you're on here, I don't know how many people's on here, but anyway, I'm working on with Craig as of right now. I got a video that I have to edit. I haven't edited it yet. I've been so busy trying to figure out, see, all this kind of mess gets me behind on stuff I'm really supposed to be doing. But he was kind enough that we spent some time. I got enough video that he explains, and we have some other things that goes along with that, how the Villages Hospital ends up with a 1-star rating. And then not only that, he brought on some stuff that we're going to show you as to what the ratings are for all the surrounding hospitals also, and in Central Florida, who has the top rating here. So that might influence your decision on what area you might want to look at as far as buying a retirement home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I got that, it's coming. And then we're also working on going live, that's scary, like we used to with WNL. It'll be like that. And about Medicare questions and Social Security questions, because I guess this is the time of year where people can make changes. New people coming down has got a lot of questions. He has kindly accepted my invitation to do a live. I don't know exactly when we're going to do that live. I'm going to try to do it as soon as possible before it gets too late in the year. But this announcement: keep an eye for the thumbnails. If you're not subscribed and click the notification buttons, you're going to miss out on this, because you have to come on live to get answers to your questions. It doesn't do you no good to contact us 2 days later after the show and ask me questions. I am not the Medicare expert. He is.
Yeah.
But on the show, I'll give you his email, I'll give you his phone number, and you can contact him.
Yeah. Oh, and Leslie says, greetings from on top of the world.
Huh?
Leslie says, greetings from on top of the world.
I'm going to come up there ASAP one of these days. I guarantee you I am. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of ruffled right now. I'll be honest with you. The Villages are starting to wear thin with me, and I'm thinking possibly about moving somewhere else, but I got to find out some stuff.
Okay, yeah, we do our homework too, just like you all do. And you just never know. I mean, we've moved 18 times for a reason.
Yeah, I might want to move because I'm just getting bored.
Yeah, there you go.
It ain't got nothing to do with finances. It ain't got nothing to do with politics or none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a good question. Meta37 says, I wonder if snowbirds care about the hospitals since they get their care elsewhere.
No, if they're here, they're getting their health care here.
No, but I mean, snowbirds, if only here for 3 months, they don't change.
No, but they also don't have a primary care doctor here. But I think they could get one here. You have to that's a question to ask the Medicare expert on the show. Can you have 2 primary care doctors? One up north where you live and one down here when you come down for the winter? I don't know that.
Yeah, and I think you can, as long as the both of them agree to your care. But yeah, that's something to ask Craig.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions to ask. We didn't ask them questions either. We didn't know.
Yeah.
You just have to know how we are. We just decide we want to do something. We just do it, and we figure everything else out later.
Yeah.
Like when we came down here, Sue has to have treatments every so often. When we first came down here, they were like, when were they? Like twice a month?
I used to do 3
when we
days,
first came down
3 days
here.
a month.
When we first came here, it was 3 days a month?
Yes.
And then they didn't really have a facility for infusions. You had to go to a cancer doctor. Which
No, I actually went to a doctor that had an infusion room.
The little guy I couldn't understand.
Yeah, they just had a room, and it was a doctor's office.
Disgusting place. It was disgusting. I even told her in the room, I said, you better find someplace better than this. This is disgusting. I didn't realize the little Puerto Rican guy standing next to me was the doctor.
Yeah, he was.
Didn't really care, truthfully.
Yeah. Oh, and Leslie says if you come up on top of the world, she'll give you a tour. or he will give you a tour. I'm not sure. Leslie, are you a man or a woman? I can't really tell by that name. But anyhow, she said
Well,
she'll give
what do
you
you
a
want to be today, Leslie? You want to be a woman today, or a man, a dog, cat? The way I understand it politically, you can be whatever you want now.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to be the Grinch. No, not the Grinch. The troll. The troll under the bridge. That's me.
Okay. Meadow says I have.
Whenever you hear her say the word "okay," that means she's ignoring me.
That means go on. Meadow 37. I have a friend moving to Mount Dora. Is it nice there? Yes, it is. It depends on where if she's going. My friend Deb, she moved to Mount Dora, but she moved to an independent living facility there. Waterman Lakes, I think, or Lakes of Waterman, something like that. And it's a beautiful place. But there, the town itself it's kind of what Skip calls an artsy fartsy town. It's got a lot of
Artsy
stores,
fartsy.
a lot of stores with crap that you buy. When
A lot of people walk around like this. Oh, that's lovely over there. I really love the pastels.
But they've got a lot of stores where you buy the tchotchkes and everything. But they also have a lot of good restaurants.
They do have good restaurants.
Yeah, and they have a train station.
My favorite is that one that overlooks the lake.
Pisces Rising.
Yeah, Pisces Rising. Sit outside. I really recommend it. Sit outside.
But there's some others there. I've been to the one that's in the alley, and it's very good too. Deb took me there last time we was there, and I wished I could remember the name. But
my God, we got 82 people on here. Why are you people on here watching me?
yeah, it's Saturday.
This is Saturday, by God. You should be out doing yard work, getting ready for the winter.
They probably got everything done nap time.
Yeah. Me, when I worked, getting ready for the winter and getting things, situated the best you can, trimming bushes. What was that grassy stuff we had around the pond? A big, tall, bushy, grassy stuff. Ornamental grass.
Yeah.
This is about the time of year I'd go back there and I'd cut all that out for next year, and we'd burn it or something and get my pond all ready to freeze over with the goldfish and the koi in it, and just all that kind of stuff. And so I did all that on the weekends.
Yeah.
By the way, while we're here, one of the things Sue wanted to announce in here was people kept asking if our homeowners insurance went up. And she kept telling them, we don't know yet because we haven't received our new policy, I guess.
Right.
Well, she got it the other day.
Yeah, finally got that, and actually the insurance that we had was bought out by Progressive, but the new price is $400 higher than the old price, and which, yeah, that's excessive compared to what little bit they did raise, but it's not double like a lot of people said. So far, I'm sticking with them, because I've seen too many people that's moved to other companies to get a better price, and they've lost their insurance altogether. So I'm sticking with them, and I said, now, it remains to be seen how high it's going to go, because all of Florida's got this problem. It's not just us.
No, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and like I said, and they keep trying to legislate stuff, and it's not helping our pay. It's helping the insurance companies, but it's not helping us any. So like I said, I don't like paying that extra $400, but I know I'm covered, so it gives me a little peace of mind. And like Skip says, whatever makes you sleep at night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd rather pay the $400 more a year than to have, nothing, because as you see in some of the news reports, they have fires down here, and houses here are fairly close together. You got to get used to that. So if my neighbor's house gets on fire in the garage, because it's usually started by a golf cart fire, it could cause damage to my house. And you can get into this argument about, well, their insurance got to pay for your house. Listen, we had a wreck and it wasn't our fault. A police report said it was 100% their fault. We fought them people for months just to pay for the car.
Yeah. So, and I said, all these big advertisements you see on TV, they got me 100,000 or they got me 2 million or what have you. That's if it's a commercial vehicle, because they've got those big insurance policies. The most that most homeowners have, the most of those policies for your car is like 20,000. So 9 times out of 10, if you get anything, it's going to be 20,000 or less by the time you pay doctor bills.
What insurance is 20,000?
You're on your car insurance.
Oh, I thought we were talking about house insurance.
Yeah.
See, we went to a whole different subject.
Well, you know, house insurance is the same thing. They've got.
The only thing you worry about a house is replacement value and contents.
Yeah.
Contents is where they're going to screw you. I'm here to tell you. You're paying top dollar for contents of your home. You're wasting your money because you'll get almost nothing. The life of a refrigerator or all appliances, according to any insurance company, is only 10 years. So if your refrigerator is 10 years old, as far as the insurance company is concerned, it's worth nothing. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, Bill B says he has State Farm and for 3 years and just got his insurance renewal and it went up $60. Well, you know what, Bill? I had State Farm for everything up north. When we moved down here, State Farm did not insure houses.
They moved out.
Because of a big hurricane that they had to pay for. And so I was really, my car's still with State Farm, but I was reluctant to go back to homeowners insurance when they started offering it again because you never know when they're going to pull out again. And they weren't the only ones. I think Allstate did also. So, you know, I'm kind of reluctant to move that stuff because so far I haven't had to use it. And I said, even if it did only go up $60, I would be afraid that they'd move out and leave me holding the bag. So I'm just staying right where I'm at.
Well, I think with the new laws, am I talking politics again? The DeSantis passed some laws here last year, I think, or maybe starting in July of this year, about homeowners insurance and the insurance companies and what they can and can't do. He said, because if you think you're going to leave our state and our residents high and dry, he said that's not happening. I just remember that speech. Now, what all is included in that, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to say if State Farm tries to pull out and leave people holding the bag, I don't think they can do that anymore.
Well, I've read, and I said the stuff that he's passed, and I said, and it did help the insurance companies recover some of their money, but it didn't bring our bills down any. It was a matter of just talking points, really. It didn't do anything for the insurance. And it's still
we've
going
had
up.
State Farm for so many years, we had all them discounts. And I think that's the reason why they didn't want to give us any insurance down here, because they didn't want to give us any of them discounts.
No, I mean, they didn't insure any houses when we come here.
Yeah, they
Now
did.
they do.
They had that hurricane, that's when they all pulled out.
That was before we moved down here.
Was it?
Yes, and then when we moved down here, they weren't
Well, we seen where they
insuring
wrote
any.
stuff on the garage doors. Remember? We drove through the hurricane area?
Yeah, that was in Punta Gorda, and that was before we moved down here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you know, I just was very leery, and I like State Farm. You know, they've always treated me good, and we got a lot of discounts because of having everything with them, you know, the package deal. And you get that with all the insurance companies.
Really? How package deal we're getting on this one here that gives us a $400 a year raise? What kind of
I have
package
not
deal
got
is that?
everything with them. That's a different insurance company. So
Yeah, this is the same insurance company that wouldn't pay for the car after that lady run into you.
that's,
And now we're with them.
yeah.
I say they're a bunch of communists, you ought to just drop them like a hot potato and move somewhere else.
Anyhow, without the figuring it all in, and I said I wasn't seriously injured, and I said our mistake was going with a injury attorney. And I said, you see the advertisements on TV all the time about how big they are and how much money they give them and everything. The thing is, you know, and they do get that for people, but most of the people that get that have run into a commercial vehicle which has a $100,000 policy or $1 million. You remember on the semi trucks what kind of umbrella policy we had?
It all good by state. I can tell you that almost every trucking company is what they call self-insured. They don't buy insurance. I had it when I had my trucking company. I didn't have insurance on my trucks either. You have to put up $1 million policy with the state for your company, and then you can declare yourself self-insured. Every company, UPS, all of them, they're all self-insured. So if you have to sue somebody, they're going to sue UPS. UPS has got a team of attorneys, and then that's going to be your fight right there. There is no insurance company to go to.
But the ones that do have the $1 million umbrellas, those are the people they're suing and getting the big bucks.
You know, at one time, that's true. Everybody sued the company no matter whose fault it was, and the company would settle out of court because it was cheaper to do that than hire attorneys and go to court and fight it for years, and they just want to get rid of it. But I think over the years, that's changed quite a bit because people are just sue crazy. As you heard in the news report, in 1 month, I think, there was 3 or 4 people right here in the villages all of a sudden was wanting to sue everybody. They're suing, what's that restaurant down there on the corner? City Fire, Slip and Fall. Another guy was suing the villages because he fell in a golf course.
No,
Who's that?
Not who I thought it was.
Yeah, he fell on the golf course. He said the ground was unstable underneath his feet and it caused him to fall. All kinds of stupid stuff like that. And I don't know. Anyway, every one of those lawsuits, as far as I know, except maybe one, and this person may have a legit suit, maybe, I'm not too sure, because there's something flaky about it. But all them lawsuits have been dropped. And another guy was suing a village's doctor here. Well, it's an office in the villages, cardiologist, because whatever surgery he done, he says he'd done it wrong. And he had to go for a life-saving operation in Orlando. Now this guy may have a legit thing going here, but here's the thing that strikes me as odd. He is suing for $50,000. Does that strike you as odd? A life-saving emergency? And you're suing for really $50,000 is like not very much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the part that I don't get. But anyway, the problem with this world is not your politicians, it's not Washington, D.C., and it's really not the American citizen or even the illegals in here. The problem in this world, in this country anyway, is lawyers. They're all ambulance chasers. Look at the advertisement. I'll get you $250,000. Has our trucking company ever run in? Hey, we're suing for Roundup, cancer causing it. They're all a bunch of ambulance chasers.
Okay, how do you really feel? Yeah.
Let me eat a cookie.
Yeah, everybody wants to know what kind of cookies you're eating, and he always eats the iced oatmeal. And I got him some Oreos, and he's ate a lot of those, but he likes those iced oatmeals. And the reason I don't make my own anymore is because he likes crunchy cookies, and my cookies are never crunchy. They're good, but they're not crunchy. I can't stand a hard cookie, but. So he likes the iced oatmeal, so that's what I get him.
Difference is, the icing on these cookies, see how sporadic it is? Sometimes you get, and I don't know if it's a different brand, them other cookies where the icing on top is like a solid, I like those better.
Well, and it just depends on where I get them where I can find them.
These aren't crunchy.
I get them where I can find them, and sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't.
That's what she said.
I said, this is, yeah. I never can figure that out, that great F-job B.
What?
I almost got sued in my life a couple times. This is America. Yeah. And Joby says, great cookie, enjoy. Iced oatmeal, an Indiana classic. Yes, it is, but like I really, for years and years, that's all I did was make cookies because of the neighbor kids. And, well, my kids and grandkids and then the neighbor kids, and I come down here and you guys know.
Oh, Joyce says sounds like the Boca people moved up there.
Is that what they call entitled?
Jewish.
Oh. Yeah, but anyhow.
That leads me to a joke. There's a Jewish funeral going on, and everybody goes to the casket and they're paying their respects, and I guess part of their tradition is you leave a little bit of money in the casket as respect to the person that's gone. So everybody goes up there and they're leaving a $100 bill in the casket, and the second person goes up and leaves a $100 bill in the casket. And this goes on for a while, and there's like $1,000 of money laying in the casket. The last Jewish guy walks up there and he writes out a check for $2,000, and he takes the other $1,000 cash out in change.
Do you know how wrong that is? You just really don't, yeah. Okay.
Nobody was said I was politically correct.
Minute 37, I think the saddest story lately is the fellow who passed after getting clocked by the guy at the golf course. Yes, that was unfortunate.
Say it again?
The guy that got hit by the guy at the golf course, they were arguing over the car. Mm-hmm. They thought he hit his car, mm-hmm. and he died.
Yeah,
that was sad.
It wasn't on the golf course, by the way. It was in the parking lot of the country club at the golf course. And what really made it sad was, first of all, the guy hitting him was just ridiculous. But the guy that he hit him because he said he hit his car, after he hit the guy and everything, it wasn't even his car. He was mistaken. So I don't know who the guy is. I don't care if he's drunk. I don't care anything about that. That guy has a violent tendency that is dangerous to any resident here. And he should be eliminated as far as I'm concerned. By that I mean, We don't have rules that keep people in or out of this here. And I'm not sure you can even do that. But that's the problem.
Look at that little puppy. That's a pretty one. Yeah.
It kind of looks like one of them Charles.
Oh no, that was a King Charles now.
It's a yip dog, I can tell that.
Probably a Cavachon.
That's one thing I don't want. I will not deal with a yip dog.
And you know, it's hard to decide that because they don't do that all at once sometimes. But we don't have
If
any,
a dog yips because somebody knocked on your door, I have no problem with that. That's what they're supposed to do. If a dog yips because it hears something around your house at night, that's what they're supposed to do. But if you're driving down the road in your car, and I've seen these dogs up in the window of a passenger seat, and they're barking at everything, I'm not going to deal with that.
Yeah, okay. Well, unfortunately, we don't have to.
I'm going to buy a bird. I'm going to buy a parrot so they can sit on my steering wheel and talk to me.
Karen Stasic says she has 2 ankle biters.
That bird on the steering wheel will be like my wife sitting in the passenger seat. Turn here. You're going too fast. Slow down.
Y'all seen his driving? Yeah, he was a professional driver for years, but I wasn't with him. Yeah, Karen Stasic has 2 ankle biters, and Joe B says, I am hearing a crow here.
A crow.
And Overjoyed says, I have parrots.
You know, speaking of a crow, that leads me to a little story.
Oh, God.
When I was a kid, and we lived in Anderson, Indiana on Alliance Road, my dad built that house. There was a neighbor behind me. His name was Tony something. Tony something. I can't think of his last name. But anyway, we played baseball together on Little League. He found a baby crow somehow, some way, and they took it home like kids do, and they raised it. Well, this crow, so the day we moved, it lived over there. He took it outside, turn it loose, go back in the wild, and it wouldn't leave. It just stayed around our neighborhood. But the problem with the crow was it didn't bother nobody. Actually, the neighborhood kind of liked the crow being around. It would fly from one house to another, and they'd give it treats, you know. And but the crow would steal stuff. If you had an ink pen laying on a table outside, he would take your ink pen. Or if you had, women would have like these things that go in their hair brats, and have them laying outside, or the girls would, and he would steal them. And come to find out, he had a stash over there at the house, at Tony's house, somewhere in a tree or in the gutter or somewhere over there, where he was storing all this stuff that he was stealing.
Yeah, let me tell you, I walk early in the morning, and I said, some of it I walk in the neighborhood, and I said the other day when I come home, it was, can't remember what day it was, but anyhow, I went around the corner, and one of my neighbors behind me, they have a turnaround drive, pretty good front yard and driveway, and there was 3 big cranes, and I know one of them was the baby, but it's grown now, and they're usually here every day, every morning I see them. They had the plastic that they put on over your paper. One of them had his beak through that plastic, and he was dragging off their newspaper until I went over and clapped my hands and told him to get away from there. But yeah, they were dragging that newspaper off. Why, I don't know. I know they went through my flower pots before, but I don't know why they would want a newspaper. But he sure was taking it with him. Yeah, and I said, you don't know that about. We weren't used to cranes till we moved down here. Didn't know anything about them, and it's kind of fun to watch the wildlife here. But they said that was kind of unusual to see him taking a paper.
Jerry says, or Mark says, he was arrested. Maybe you talk about that guy that hit that old man, and then he died later. Yeah, he got arrested. I think he got out though on bond. I think he's still out. I don't think he's in jail. I don't think he's had his trial. My guess is on something like that, he's probably got attorneys involved, and so I'll try to keep you updated as the news comes in.
Yeah.
But any of you, I've always said, I don't go out looking for news. Sometimes people send me stuff, and I'll put that in the news. But I don't go looking for news. I don't make the news. I just read the news to you.
Right.
And I get the news from different sources, but 75% of all the news that I do get comes from thevillagesnews.com. So you don't have to listen to me at all. If you don't like listening to a totally unprofessional guy, you can just go read it.
Yeah. Meadow 37 wants to know if you were to drive your golf cart from your home to the newest area, how long would it take you?
Well, I don't even know what the newest area is. Way Newell? Is it Newell?
They were selling Lake Denham and Hawkins right now.
I don't even know where that is.
Well, that's just it's the very farthest. It's the part in Leesburg, I believe. So it's on the.
Never been over there. I don't even know. Is that bridge open to get over there?
Oh yeah, it is. We're gonna have to take a ride down there. And
if you know where you're going, and I don't, if you don't get lost, and I will, from here to say over there where she's talking about, and I can only tell you the general vicinity. I don't know the whole area. I would say it would probably take me 20-ish minutes.
Yeah, to Sawgrass. To get to Sawgrass?
To get to Sawgrass would probably take me 20 minutes.
Yeah. So from there, from Sawgrass to wherever these new areas are, probably another 20, I would say. Just guessing.
I know to go from here to Nancy Lopez up here, which is about as far north as you can possibly go here in the villages, and I've done it in my golf cart many times, and I know how to get there. It would take me probably a half an hour to get up there. We used to play golf up there, and it'd take about a 30-minute golf cart ride.
Yeah. Okay. Mark Berry says, the village of Skip Smith, how long after you retired did you hold your commercial license? I'm now retired for over a year and still have my CDL. I think it's time to convert it to standard license.
Well, I got to tell you, I can totally understand what you're saying, because we have spent our whole life protecting that license, haven't we? Physicals, never drink, never come to work with any kind of alcohol in your breath.
He never had a beard or mustache till he moved down here.
I was clean cut, stayed clean cut. I didn't want to give UPS any reason to send me in for anything. But they did, random drug tests, random everything. And all that was about keeping my retirement, keeping my insurance, because you lose your job, you lose all that.
And you always think about that when you retire, maybe I have to go back to work for some reason.
You always think about that coming down here.
That's a good, good job and made good money. So it's hard to give them up.
Bill B! I thought you was going to go on a cruise.
I can't stop, I'll get in trouble.
Oh, okay. Take care. Are you coming to lunch?
I like that though, the Jewish joke with the casket.
You're not going to go to the members' lunch?
Am I what?
You're not going to go to the members' lunch?
No, I'll be out of town.
You'll be on a cruise, right? That's what I thought. Okay.
Send us pictures.
That's my community watch guy. He keeps an eye on my house.
Yes. Okay. Now, Monterey says the golf cart paths are not open over the new bridge. I thought that they finally had them open, but maybe not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know there was a talk about golf carts and cars are going to share that bridge. And the cars
are open, I know that.
I know, that's what I said, but I read a long time ago where the golf carts had not opened yet, so I didn't know if it was open yet or not. I don't keep up with it. This so-called retirement community here has gotten way too big almost for me. Try to imagine yourself. I don't know where you live or anything else, but just look on the map and find yourself a town in your state that has 150,000 people and growing. Roughly 150,000 people. How many houses are here? Last time I read it was something like 55,000 homes.
Oh God, I don't know.
Say 55, let's say 60,000 homes. And look at that, and then try to imagine that town that you're looking at is a retirement community.
Yeah.
That's this.
Joe B says, dang, I only thought about that drug testing in the military. Well, it's not just the military. Like all the truck drivers have to do it. All your pilots have to do it.
Police.
And that's a good thing,
Fire.
I think. I really do think that's a good thing.
That's the problem with, they talk about the labor shortage that we have down here, and that's probably true. We probably do have a little bit of a labor shortage. But I've talked to some of these contractors around here. When they come to my house, I talk to them. I talk to everybody. And they're all telling me that they're all hiring because the people that they send in for a drug test, they can't pass it. And that's why they can't hire them. And that's why they need more people.
Yeah, that's a shame, but yeah, that happens. No. Joby says the watch guy sounds like Jack Nicholson. He'll be glad to hear that.
Bill B's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
I can trust him with my life. He takes care of our neighborhood once in a while, not all the time. Unless I don't know, is this his regular route now?
I don't know.
May not be, but anyway, he comes by whenever he can. He can't stop though because he's working, and I guess they have tracker devices on the cars, so they can't really stop. But they question him.
He's got so many miles he has to cover in his allotted time.
Yeah, that's true, and he knows I'm a bullshitter, and I'll talk to him for half an hour out here. You know.
Yeah, you get carried away, so don't shut up sometimes. Oh, Marjorie Smith said, finally catching you live. Well, hi, Marjorie. Yeah, we tried it on Wednesday and had a little technical problem. So we're doing it today just for the heck of it. We wanted to see if the equipment worked.
I felt guilty that we didn't do it. It's something we do regularly, and then we didn't do it. In my mind, it's just like walking. She walks every morning. If she skips a day from walking, you feel weird?
Oh, I do.
If I don't do porch setting on Wednesday at noon, I just feel weird.
Yeah. Yeah, we get in the habit. You know how that is. So, but glad to have you here anyhow, Marjorie.
Yeah, tell your friends to come to the show on Wednesday, noonish,
And
roughly.
James Carl says hi.
Unless this thing right here goes again. I may have to look and see about getting a good used one somewhere on eBay or something. But
I think you should just, we use this a lot. I think you should just, get off your billfold, buy a new one. It probably has so many updates to it that it'd be easier. You never know. You know how they do computers. I mean, they put more stuff in it. And I said, once you learn how to use it, it's probably a lot easier. There'll be some downtime, I'm sure.
James Carl says hi. James Carl, if you're new, howdy.
Yeah.
We usually do this on Wednesday about noonish, James, so you know. Porch setting. I'm going to call this porch setting, and I'm going to advertise it as porch setting, even though it is, but it ain't. Porch setting is usually on Wednesday around noontime, every Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. And I said, since we only got in maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
And I deleted all of that.
You deleted all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why I did my promo at the first about the breast cancer. Go get checked. It's important.
How often do they check IDs at the pool? I haven't
More than what they used to.
Yeah, I haven't been to the pools in years because I can't get out in the sun anymore, and that's really what leads me to wonder why I'm still staying here. I can't be in the sun. Now, when you think about that, if you cannot be in the sun in the Sunshine State, I can't golf unless it's night golf, but you can't do that here either, unless it's a special event. But that's rare. I can't be in the pool because we don't have any indoor pools or any shaded pools at all.
Yeah.
I can't go to the squares anymore because you're sitting out in the sun all the time. I could go down to Brownwood and sit up in bleachers. Have you guys ever sat in them bleachers for an hour? They're totally uncomfortable, totally.
Yeah.
So I just can't do much of what I'm paying for, and I just sometimes wonder why I'm even staying here. I mean, I'm paying for this stuff. And when I first got here for 5 years, we did everything. Squares 2 or 3 times a week. I golfed. When I first moved here, I was golfing 7 days a week, every day. And so I made use of my time, but not anymore. It's just, and places like on top of the world, that's just one place. I do think they have an indoor pool, so I could utilize it. This place don't even have a hot tub, not down anywhere south of 27 and 441. They're all up there in the historical area, which is quite a ways to go for me.
And I think one of the country clubs has it. You have to have a priority pass.
There is no country club with a hot tub.
I think there is.
Which one? Now, tell me. You don't know. I've been to all the country clubs. There's none of them with a hot tub as
You
far as I
guys
know.
tell him. I know there's one. I can't think of the name of it.
No. Tierra del Sol? That's the only country
No.
club I really haven't played around with because they changed it.
I'll think of it in a minute, but I know there is
none.
one country club pool.
Go ahead, tell
Because you
me.
have to have
Tell me which one it is. Put your
Well,
hand where your mouth is.
Orange Blossom you have to.
I just said, up in the historical area, they have hot tubs up there, but nowhere else.
But like I said, one of the country clubs, other country clubs have it, and I can't
Which
remember
one?
what it is. I don't remember whether it's Palmer, Havana. I don't remember.
Palmers don't have any.
Yeah, it's down here anyhow.
Havana don't have any.
Okay.
There is none down here. Google it.
So
Google
yeah,
it.
Joe B says, yeah, I have skin cancer too, trying to stay out of the sun on my face. It's hard. It is. And I said, he does go out in the sun, like when we're traveling and stuff, we go out and do things and see things, but
I
we
pay
just
for
can't
it. I
stay.
pay for it later.
Yeah,
I always do.
And we can't do prolonged things in the
Yeah.
sun. We went to the Ark
Just
Encounter.
the other day, I went out there and I had to fix one of my sprinklers. That the mower guy broke it. I think I don't know who broke it, but anyways, it broke, and I had to put in a new one. So however long that takes to put in a new sprinkler head. And that night I look at my hands and I had blisters on the back of my hand.
Yeah.
I just can't be in it.
Yeah, it just doesn't pay for him, you know. So.
Where are you going now?
Shopping again.
God! You women and your shopping. What is it that you possibly have to have?
Menu.
You're not kidding me. You're leaving the house because your old man's getting on your nerves, ain't he? Oh.
Okay.
Well, you're a mind reader.
I've just been around it a long time.
Overjoyed says, seems like you have nice neighbors. We do. We have wonderful neighbors. Always have since we've been here. We have some new ones actually on one side of us that they're just in the process of moving in, and we don't know them very well. You know, we'll get to know them as time goes on. I do want to tell you the house across the street for us has a for rent sign, and
Here, let me turn this around so maybe you can see it.
I don't know if you can see the number because they've got a phone number
How do
on
you
it.
turn this around? There it is. Is that it? Yeah. Whoops,
Yeah.
damn it. Hold it. Over. Well, they can see the house though. That house where? Right there is for rent.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's for rent for the winter, for rent full
Yeah, and
time.
they've got a phone number on there so you can call them because I don't know the length or anything like that, or the price. But you'd have to call that number.
Yeah,
but-
call that number.
Yeah.
Over there.
But this is the first time I think I've seen him put a sign up. So
Yeah. He told me 3 years ago when he bought that house, I told him I knew he was going to be a snowbird. He's from Canada. I said, well, you could probably rent this place out in the wintertime for about, this is back then, for about $4,000 a month. So for 3 months, that's 12 grand. That's not money to sneeze at from the world I come from.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that money will pay for all your amenity fees and probably your property taxes and all that stuff for the year. All you'd have to worry about really would be your utilities and property taxes, or not property taxes, house payments, if you have a house payment.
yeah,
And he said, no, I'll never rent this house out. Well, 3 years later, there's a for rent sign.
but I think last year it was important for them to be at home, so I think they did rent it to someone that was building a house here, and so I think maybe he found out how lucrative it was to still letting it sit empty. So I think this year they're advertising it this year. So yeah, if you'd like to come be our neighbor. And like I said, I don't know how long or how much, but like I said, you have to call
No,
the
you have
number.
to call him. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Oh,
And
and this says, welcome to appreciation level, Susan.
Thanks, Susan.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh, those of you, if you're on here, that I've been trying to get a lot of the people on the YouTube members to move to Patreon, because it's very possible that I'm going to do away with YouTube membership. I'm not saying I am. Don't panic yet. I'll let you know before I do it. Is because it's starting to get too hard for me to take videos and put them in 4 different places all the time. And I'm just trying to make my life a little simpler. You can still get them commercial free. You'll still get them ahead of everybody else on Patreon, just like YouTube memberships. Actually, there's some things on Patreon I put on there I don't put on YouTube memberships.
yeah.
So just be aware of that fact that I'm not going to do away with it. The difference is YouTube is 99 cents a month, I think. And Patreon level, the cheapest level is like $2 a month. I don't think $2 a month is going to break anybody up.
No.
So I just want you to be aware of that before you get in it too deep. I know there's different levels on YouTube also. There's a $5 level, I think, and a $20 level or something. I don't know. But I'm not able to do away with all that. But like I say, don't panic yet.
Yeah. And if y'all haven't checked it out yet, go to Skip and Sue RV thing. That's our travels in the RV.
Link is below in the description box.
Yeah, and we don't do a lot of traveling in it, but when we do, we post some videos, but it always goes to the RV channel, doesn't go to this channel.
No,
So-
and I do post things on the memberships there on the RV channel. So once in a great while, I will put one on YouTube memberships on this channel, trying to get people to go there. But I haven't been doing that lately because, like I say, I'm thinking about doing away with it. And so if you're interested in the RV channel, you will have to go there and you will have to subscribe. And like I said, the link's below in the description box. Just click on it, it'll take you right there. And just subscribe and then hit the notification bell.
And it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe.
No, it's free.
Like
Doesn't
if you want
cost
to be a
anything.
member, it does, or a Patreon member. But
Yeah.
just to subscribe, it doesn't cost anything.
But
But it helps us out a lot.
super chats and super stickers are welcome there on the live stuff. And just so you guys know, whenever we do lives like port setting, and once in a while I'll do a live phone call show where you could call in. I don't do them very often. Just little things like that. That actually is set up to collect super stickers and super chats. I know that might not be a polite thing to say, but I'm just being honest with you. That's what they all do it for, and that's what I do it for, is to collect a little extra money for the channel. So if you're going to come to the live stuff, you know, once in a while, you have to do it very often, throw in a couple of bucks, you know, to help out a little bit for things like this going bad.
Yeah, we have to have a new iPad. Susan wants to know if you decide to move outside the villages, will you still do porch sitting?
It depends on what I buy and where I'm at, but I don't plan on anything on my channel to change. Rather, I do videos of the villages, which I really kind of gave up. If you notice, I don't do many videos about the villages because there's so many YouTubers around here. There's nothing new for me to do anymore.
Yeah.
They all do it.
It's hard to keep up, yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't do it anymore. I'm always looking for something different to do.
But we always answer your questions about the villages.
We
if
will
we
answer
can.
your questions, and we
Yeah.
will show things if I can. If I do something weird, like that one day I did a nighttime golf cart ride down to Brownwood, if you all remember that, I will post them because nobody else done that.
Oh, and somebody reminded me today, you remember the video you did of the bladder tank on the hot water heater?
Oh yeah.
Somebody reminded me today that there's still a lot of people that don't know about that, and that's something you may rerun, but it could cause so much damage. And I said, nobody told us about it. The bladder tank on top of your hot water heater.
Well, Brad is the first time I heard anything about it. The
Yeah, with
Nova
no
filters.
filters.
People's
Yeah.
whole house water filters. It's he's also one of them that sponsors our channels once in a while. Is Brad at Nova water filters. Whole house water filters. It's like $650 installed. 3 filters. We've had it installed 9 years ago. We've not had a problem with it. It took care of our problem. Well, 99% of our problem.
And when we seen the pressure gauges going up, we knew something was wrong, but
Well,
we didn't know.
I started leaking.
Yeah, and so I said, when Brad came out and looked, he said, yeah, you need to have that bladder tank checked. And we had a plumber come in, and they had to empty it and put another one on. And it doesn't. I think it cost $150 at the most. But and they said it should have been checked every 5 years, if not every year.
Yeah.
And nobody had ever said a thing to us about it because up north you have pop-off valves. You don't have bladder tanks.
Well, they got pop-off valves here too.
Yeah, but
I'm not exactly sure what that bladder tank's actually for, but it must be critical. We used to call them burp tanks
Yeah.
because, like she said, I kept going out there and I kept looking. I got pressure gauges on my water filters, and it usually hangs around. I forget now. Let's say it hangs around 65 pounds or something. And I'd go out there one day and I'd look at it and it was 80 pounds. I thought, well, that's kind of weird. So I turned the water on, shut it off, and go back down and say 65 pounds. But then over the day, it gradually worked its way back up. And then one day I went out there and one of my filters, where it screws on, was actually leaking a little bit. That's when I called Brad. I said, hey, this thing's leaking. I don't know what's going on here. He comes over, he looks at it, and the water pressure at that point was up to something like 100 pounds, 110 pounds. It was up there. I was concerned about it. And that's when I noticed in the water heater, the pop-off valve, it was leaking out up there too. So we had pressure in the whole system. And he said, when was the last time you had that bladder tank checked? I said, I've never had it checked. He said, well, here's a number. He said, call this guy. Because Brad don't do that. The guy came out and he looked at it and he said, oh yeah, it's full. He said, we need to change that. They changed it, like Sue said, $150, something like that. And ever since then, that's been 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, so it's time to have it checked again, probably.
And ever since then, our water pressure's been fine, no leaks, no anything. So I don't know exactly what it does, but it's critical.
And I had lunch with a lady today that was telling me that a friend of hers did not have any idea about it, and hers backed up, and it backed up in the house. And did like $40,000 worth of damage.
Well, Donnie over here said that in New Orleans he had one and it leaked out. And he said he had laminate flooring in his house, and he says that all of it swelled up, and he had to have it all replaced.
Yeah. So that's something you want to check, and that's what I say. I think you should run that video again for people that, especially if you bought a used home. You know, some of these homes, if they've been built for 10 years, you know, by 8 years you should be having that changed. But they told me every 5 to 8 years it should be changed. But if you can, every 1 or 2 years to have it checked.
Yeah, and I'm still a little confused about the whole thing because in Indiana, I lived up there my whole life. We never had nothing like that. Never.
But we had different water pressure and that kind of thing. So.
But I still don't understand the exact purpose of that thing and why that would cause water pressure to go up through the whole system. I don't get it, but there's something there.
I just know it's important. So.
It is important if you don't want a lot of damage. You do not want to go on vacation for 2 weeks and come home and find water running out your garage and down to the street.
That's right. And I said, and if it goes to the inside of the house, think about what kind of damage that could do.
Yeah.
And if you don't have your water turned off, it would be continuous.
That's the last thing we do before we leave here to go on vacation. I go out in the garage and I shut the water off to the whole house. Shut it off.
And I hate that, but it's necessary.
Yeah, because we come home after a week or a month or whatever, hey look, the toilets are going to look bad inside, the water changes color. You know, it's not good, but I'd rather have to clean a toilet out than to have to remodel my house.
Right.
Leslie, thanks for the $2 super sticker, Leslie. Appreciate it. Says, how would Sue feel about leaving the villages? Let me answer that for you. She ain't going to like it at all. She's going to leave here with me dragging her, kicking and screaming.
Yeah. But, like I said, we've already moved 18 times, so one more wouldn't kill me. Not that I would like it, because I'm very comfortable here. I have my friends.
It's only 20
here.
miles up the road if we go to on top of the world. You know, it isn't like it's that far away, 20 miles.
It was like by the
She
boat.
drove further than that to work for 25 years.
It's, you know, it's like the motorcycle. We didn't buy a small one. We bought the big one first. I don't want to go back to the old. You know, I don't want to go back to the smaller. I'm good right here. And I feel safe here. That's the main thing. I feel safe here.
On top of the world safe.
Do you know that?
I've been
Well,
watching a lot of the reports up in the Ocala newspaper and stuff, and I see nothing about crime. That's a gated community. You can't even get in without giving them your ID.
I know, but to do any shopping, you have to go into Ocala.
You do have to go in Ocala, and Ocala does have its traffic problems. We've been there.
Yeah, and
Our son lived there for a while.
fair share of crime. So, you know.
And they have their fair share of crimes too. There's no doubt.
Not that it's a bad place, but
No,
just
it's just-
don't do the best first and then go downwards. Not to me.
Maybe I should move to Montana.
I'll see ya. I'll come visit you every once in a while.
Always wanted to have a horse.
Oh,
I would say move to Colorado, but I don't think that's a good place to go anymore either, because these people over here from Colorado, they moving down here.
Joe B says she replaced all the plastic pipes at each sink and toilet. It's not a matter of the pipes, honey. It's like I said, this thing that goes on top of your hot water heater. And I said, if it gets full, and I said, I touched ours, and it was so full it was like a rock, and it's like a plastic milk jug. It's what it looks like. But like I said, when it gets full, everything backs up, and so you know it's not like your pipes or anything like that.
Well, Vic Madera, which is a moderator of mine, thanks Vic, he says, and this makes sense to me, he says when a water heater can expand with the pressure, in other words, as the water's heating up and getting hotter, it expands the pressure in there, okay? Water gets hot, the expansion tank is a safety, it's kind of like a safety valve for the extra pressure. So instead of going out into the tank, in the water, in the plastic pipes or whatever, this is like an extra expansion area for that water to expand to. Did I explain that right?
Good
That's
enough.
kind of the way I see it. That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Oh, Annie Coughlin says, hi, Skip and Sue. Pools open till 11 p.m. at Everglades, Paradise Rec, Southside Rec, Chula Vista Rec, Tierra del Sol, according to the Village Newcomers Guide I received last week.
Well, that's probably true, but I'm not getting in my golf cart and driving 20 minutes to a pool. and then turn around and drive 20 minutes to get home, and I got one within walking distance of my house right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know I could do that. I mean, if I was going to go to a pool and have to drive there, I'd get in my car and drive all the way up to the historic side. I can't remember the name of that neighborhood right there, but they got a hot tub right there that's shaded. That's where I'd go.
Oh, okay. Vic Madeira says exactly. No.
Exactly. Right.
And Karen says, I come from Colorado, don't do it. I heard that.
I'm hearing so much about these different states. I do a lot of checking on things, especially on the news, make sure I know what I'm saying is kind of true. That California people and the state of California is causing a lot of problems. And this is what I mean when I say things in California is like a cancer, because it never stays in California. Is people in California now have moved to areas in Montana that used to be nice, quaint little Western type towns. People in that town now are complaining and they're wanting to move out because California people is going up there and buying tracts of land, building $1 million homes and bringing their problems from California to there. So now they got traffic problems and they're moving out. I think around the Denver, Colorado area and some other areas, I can't remember all of them. Same thing, a lot of California people are moving there, building $1 million homes, and it's causing disruption there. And same thing here. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of California people moved in here. Yeah. Texas, I know, especially around, I want to say the Austin area, they almost riot over so many California people moving in Texas. They say they've had enough.
Like they got a choice, right?
So are they moving in that house, or are they getting ready to sell it over there?
They're cleaning it out right now because they are going to sell.
They are going to sell? Yeah. I might be interested in buying that.
Well,
depends.
Mark says that we don't have true hot water heater tanks south of 44. That's right. They have those automatic or whatever they call them, the waterless.
Do. And those might be a better option for.
So I think all the newer homes are built with gas units mounted on the outside wall of the garage.
Instant water.
Something like that. Yeah, instant water heaters. Yeah.
I kind of like that idea.
Vic says that, like the song says, I'm not crying, that's Texas in my eye. We like Texas too, Vic.
I like Texas.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Texas is perfect. They got their problems like anybody else. But the thing I like about Texas is it's just so darn big that, you know, like in a motorhome, if you're an RVer, Texas is a great state to go. They have a lot of stuff for an RVer that is just convenient as hell. 99% of any and all gas stations, you can just whoop in there. There's plenty of room.
And remember, that's where Bucky started.
That's where Bucky started.
They're moving out here now, but they started in Texas.
I can't tell you how many Dairy Queens I pulled my motorhome while pulling a car. I pulled my motorhome right in a Dairy Queen, walk inside and get a chocolate shake and come back out and get, because it's just so big.
Well, and they're used to so many guys with the big pickup trucks pulling horse trailers and cattle trailers, and so they've got big parking lots.
The thing is hard to get used to in Texas. You get used to it, but if you're from these other states, if you're on a 2-lane road out in the country, speed limit varies in different states, 45, 55, you know, if it doesn't have a lot of houses on it. You get in Texas, 2-lane road, middle of nowhere, speed limit's 85 mile an hour. I mean, I kid you not. Yeah. There'll be a speed limit 80 mile an hour.
Yeah, I always have to take a picture of those speed limit signs because I can't believe them. I've never seen them anywhere else like that. So, Overjoyed says, thank you for mentioning On Top of the World. I've been checking out homes, costs, and amenities, and I definitely favor it over the villages. Prices are better, and the HOA includes roof repair. Well, I didn't know that.
Includes what?
Roof repair.
Well, that's if you buy the ones that's got the least land. They take care of that. Okay. Everything outside the house.
Yeah, and that's something you have to remember, Overjoyed. That part of it has like a 99-year lease.
Yeah.
So you really don't own the land. But the new areas, I think they're selling you the whole thing now. Only in the new areas.
Yeah, you do have that option. And I can see, for a guy like me, I don't know, man, that 99-year lease thing might be the thing to do. They trim your bushes, they mow the grass, they fix everything outside your house.
But you know, their downtown area, they only had music on like Thursday and Fridays, and you know, there's several things. Times I've been there, what stores they did have in there weren't open, because I think they had an ice cream parlor and.
Well, I'm sure since we were there, there's been a lot of building going on. especially around the hospital up there. I know that's a good hospital. That's where you were at.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a new, fancy, updated hospital, but everything that I seen in there during COVID, they were so strict up there with me. I'm not a patient. Than the Villages Hospital was here. People were just roaming in and out of that place up there. And over there where Sue was at, I went through like security checks. They put the desk out front on the sidewalk. You couldn't even get in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was during the COVID time, but they're still.
But I like that.
Yeah, they're very good. And it was a great hospital, it really was. Annie Coughlin says, I'm from Massachusetts, or Taxatussas.
You know, in
in
Indiana, we call it messy two shits.
Well, she says they call 'em assholes. That's good.
We're going to have to rate this live thing R.
Yeah. And let's see. Like Overjoyed says, hell, I'll be dead in 99 years. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about a 99-year lease. Yeah, you'll be dead by then. But I just couldn't get over that idea that I didn't own the land. I mean, you know, if I wanted to go to a trailer park,
I think there's some,
and pay rent, that's one thing. But, you know, for a house to be sitting on somebody else's land, I just could not get.
There's got to be something legal about that I don't understand. I'd have to call Ira and ask him, really, because there's no way, I'm starting to sound like Jackie Gleason. There's no way that they could say, well, we're taking our land back, you got to move your house.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, and Joan Clark says, hi from Ohio, 46 degrees here today and windy. Oh, Joan, I feel for you, honey.
Come on down, man. We're sitting out here.
Glad to get back here.
We're sitting out here in our shorts. 80.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 84. I think it's supposed to be the high, but I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's maybe 86.
Yeah.
And it got, last night it didn't get as chilly as it has been the last couple of days. It was, I think it was 64 when I got up. And that's beautiful walking weather, really. Now when it got down in the 43, 44, I was bundled up pretty good. But that was just for a couple of days when that cold front went through, and it's back to where it should be.
Karen says 81 and sunny in the Villages.
Yeah, 81. Okay.
Cindy says the lease properties also have a much lower insurance cost.
Really?
On top of the world.
Huh.
I have to check that out because I didn't know that.
Because usually, that's one thing they tell me about my homeowner's insurance. They're not, that insurance doesn't cover your property. That covers your house and maybe your stuff in your house, but it doesn't cover the property. So that's why they said that you really don't need as much insurance as what you think you need because the property is paid for.
Joan Clegg says, I wish I was there. Well, we wish you was too, Joan. I got an extra room. You can just stay in there.
Yeah.
You have to help cook, though, because Sue don't like cooking.
Yeah.
Last night I had a hankering. That's an Indiana word, hankering. I think. She was going to go over to Walgreens. And she says, you want anything? I said, yeah, get me them Boston baked beans. I like those Boston baked beans.
Yeah.
I probably ate way too many of them.
And the crunchy Cheetos.
And then I said, is there because I was over at Wildwood, I said, is there a Taco Bell over there? Because I was thinking there was. And then she says, no, there's one up there. Oh, she said, yeah, it's up there at Southern Trace Plaza. So I said, well, that's
about Arby's.
I said, oh, Arby's, that's right, Arby's.
Yeah, and they're building one, but it's not built yet.
She said, it's Southern Trace Plaza. So right away my mind goes, what'd she just say? Southern Trace Plaza is not in Wildwood. So you're saying, no, there is none in Wildwood. She said, well, yeah, but it says Southern Trace Plaza. Southern Trace Plaza is not in Wildwood. So anyway, I didn't get my
You're lucky I feed you at all, you know that.
I was going to get 2 roast beef sandwiches because for some reason the Arby's roast beef sandwiches, especially with a little bit of that horseradish sauce that they've got, I really like them. Those are pretty good. Burger's a burger is a burger is a burger. I'm almost getting sick of burgers. They're all, to me, I don't know, very little difference. If I had to pick a hamburger that tastes different than everybody else's burger in the quick serve areas, Dairy Queen's hamburgers probably taste different than everybody's because it actually has that charbroiled taste to it. Mm-hmm. None of the other ones do. So, not to say the other burgers are bad, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm just tired of it, so I thought, Taco Bell. Is there a Taco Bell over there at Wildwood? Well, no.
Yes.
Yes, there is, but I didn't get a Taco Bell either.
Now, what did you get? It's not like I let you go hungry. You had shrimp scampi.
What did I get?
Shrimp scampi.
Shrimp scampi. Yeah, but I still have a hankering for some Taco Bell Supreme taco.
And I can do that. You waited until I got all the way back home and then asked me if there was an Arby's. If I'd have been on my way, I wouldn't have had a problem going over
No, I called you about the Arby's, but I didn't call you about Taco Bell.
And you didn't call me on my phone.
Yeah, I did. Talk to you. I've got it recorded in there. Want me to prove it?
Okay.
I don't have it recorded. I have no idea.
Oh, yes. Vic says they got a hankering for Oakwood Express barbecue tonight. Yes. Oakwood, the Express and the regular one, I mean, they're both excellent as far as and I don't do meat, but like I used to, and I always loved their pulled pork, and I would watch him chow down on the ribs, and every time we'd have company, he'd take them to Oakwood because it's the best ribs he had ever ate. And now they do have a place over on 42 now, over in Mulberry. It's called Artman's. It's just on the other side of the railroad track, and they tell me they're super too. I've never been there, never tried them out. But yeah, Oakwood has always been very, very good.
I love Oakwood Fire and Grill. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oakwood Fire and Grill.
Karen Stasek
They have a pretty nice bar in there too, but they never advertise that.
says, born in Michigan, wouldn't go back to Midwest. Lived in Colorado 35 years. Snow there this week. Yeah, they can keep the snow.
Well, you know, not everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
I
know. I've got a brother that he loves the snow.
Well, people in Michigan that I used to go up there when I go to General Motors plants and pick parts up there. I got to talking to all them people up there, and they're big on the UP.
Oh yeah, they all go to the.
They all have cabins up there. They all have snowmobile machines. They all ice fish, deer hunt.
Yeah.
They wouldn't move to Florida on a bet. They love it up there, and that's fine. I mean, that's what they want to do. Listen, when you get to a certain age and you're retired, and you know you're in that 10-year countdown before you're going to get sick and die, you do what you want to do. It doesn't make any difference what anybody else thinks. Do what you want to do. As long as you're not harming somebody else or bothering somebody else. If you want to live in Alaska, get in your truck and go.
Right. Cindy Rowland says, yes, you own the home. We purchased on top of the world, but we own the home and land. They have both options.
Yeah.
Just different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to make sure you ask your realtor that. Is this the neighborhood that they own everything? But yeah, Cindy lives there and she likes it there. So they do have both options. When we looked, they didn't. The 99-year lease was the only thing they had. But they have changed, I guess, in the new areas, and maybe they bought some extra land or something. But yeah, you do have an option now.
Snowbirds are piling in, just slowly but surely. I'm seeing new cars and people here that I've never seen before.
I was sitting here waiting on a lane this morning, and there was 3 people that I seen walk by. Did not know any of them.
I don't recognize
There's
certain
just so
dogs.
many new people here, and I've got a couple ladies coming to the lunch Thursday, and I don't know. I got the names, but I don't know them. I've never met them. So we just have such a turnover here because of people dying and people moving. Well, they're selling, making a profit, and they're going on down south.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
The house prices went up, so they're selling a house here, going down there buying another new house, for whatever their reasons are.
And there's a lot of good things about the southern end that we don't have here. I mean, they don't have walking paths here, but they do down there. And I said they've got a lot of things to call it a draw when you have to decide whether you want up here or down there. And I don't like staying up here or down there because we're all one community. It's still the villages, but it seems like more and more it's them or us. But I see no reason not to buy a used home. A lot of the stuff's already done, but I know a lot of people want to move to where the younger people are because they're younger. And I remember our first house, we moved into a villa, and most of the guys were gone. Most of the ladies had lost their husband. And so they'd been there by themselves, and it was kind of hard to break into the neighborhood because, they'd kind of set in their ways. And I said they didn't do driveway parties anymore. They'd already done that. For Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner, they always had it catered from Bob Evans, and that was it. So, you know, there's a lot of reason to go where your age is. And I said all the younger people are in the southern area, most of them.
Yeah, what Vic says, one of the downsides about buying down there, at least right now anyway, it says we have crappy golf choices south of Brownwood. I agree with that.
Yeah.
We have golf galore around here where I'm at, and other areas around here. But down there, they do have golf, but not the choices like here yet. They might change that someday.
Yeah, give them time. I think, you know, the village has got their finger on what goes on. So give them time. I think they'll be down there. Whether you have that time or not, you know, that's kind of here and there. You may not have time for them to build more golf courses.
Well, if they've already got houses there, they're not putting a golf course in.
No, but I mean, they have some plotted out that they haven't built yet.
Well, I know there's going to be a country club down there somewhere. At least one.
Yeah.
Around me, there's 4.
And Mark says he loves Oakwood and Leesburg. Yeah, we do too. It's just,
Is that where I go? Leesburg?
Yeah.
That's Leesburg?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now the
I thought that was Fruitland Park.
no, I said the fast food or the express is in Wildwood. It's just before you get to the bridge. But the regular one is in Leesburg, and it's always been good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Cheryl Perry, 57 raining, raw here in Massachusetts. Looking forward to November 10th, going down there for a week. Well, great, Cheryl. I mean, you know, November's still a good month down here. October's the best, I think, because the rain kind of lets up and the temperature goes down. I mean, we have 5 months of 90-degree temperatures, and so like I said, in October it kind of levels off to the 80s. Sometimes we get high 80s, but usually it's mid 80s most of the time. And then
Charles.
a little bit shorter.
Charles is confused.
Of what?
Charles Dunbar. Hey, are you from England? Ain't that an English thing, Dunbar? Scottish?
I don't know.
Dunbar?
I don't know.
Dunbar's a name.
Oh, okay.
Like Smith is American. Dunbar. Anyway.
Vic said they'll be at Oakwood about 5.
Says, why did you, well, because I was working on this thing here, and that's why I'm sitting over here, and Sue's sitting over there. She's sitting in the King's throne, I'm sitting in the Queen's throne.
Marjorie Smith says, Vic, I know I can't wait to move. Luckily, I'm in the boroughs of Queens. Beautiful neighborhood, but still have Florida in my sights. Yeah, Marjorie, come on down. I mean, there's just something like it. Yeah. We did switch positions, but
Says, nope, born in the USA.
the reason we switched positions is because the sun is on this side. It's coming in under the awning,
Yeah,
and he can't be in the sun.
no.
And I said, I'm picking up all the sun I can.
See, at noontime, that's another reason why we chose noon, is because the sun's directly above my house, and this whole area is shaded.
Yeah. And I said, today we didn't start until 2, so the sun was kind of beyond the
Well,
awning
today
here.
wasn't even planned.
Yeah.
She was sitting out there talking to Elaine in a car, and I'm setting this thing up because I was going to go live with you guys just to check these microphones out to see if they're working okay. And then when she got out of the car, I said, you want to be out here too? And she said, yeah. So then we was messing around, and then at the last minute, the flip thing on the iPad wasn't working. It said vertical only. So I'm thinking, Mom, my God, now what?
Yeah.
So I had to go in the house again and mess around until I finally found the setting for the YouTube. Had nothing to do with the iPad. YouTube now has a setting for vertical only, probably because of TikTok. They have a setting for vertical only or horizontal, and I had to change that. Now my question is, do I have to change that every time I come out here? I don't know.
Charles Dunbar says, nope, born in the USA.
Yeah, I've seen
So
that.
he's not Scottish.
It's just like Dunbar. So we have some followers that's in England somewhere. We had some followers, I think, in Scotland.
And we usually have somebody every week on Wednesday from Belgium.
What's his name? That's in that island or someplace, and he's trying to get out and come back.
Gringo Loco?
Gringo Loco. He's from somewhere.
Yeah.
Not here.
He's in the southern area somewhere.
Then we had a follower that was working in Qatar. I think he's retired full time now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was going back over there. I hope he's not over there now with all the fighting that's
No,
going
he's
on.
here because he sent me an email about a week ago saying he has a system either he made or had installed on his golf cart that does something that locks up the brakes or something on it where it makes it theft proof. Nothing is ever theft proof, but makes it harder.
Yeah.
And I said, he wanted to come by and show it to me. And I said, well, can I video it? He said, well, really nothing to video. And he said, I'll see you later. And I haven't heard from him since, so I don't know.
Well, I am so glad he's here and not over there, because everything that's going on over there, it's kind of scary. And I know, that they're not fighting in Qatar, but like I said, he's close enough that you never know. So just the trips over there, the planes and everything, they're all in jeopardy. So I'm glad he's home.
You want to know who some of the terrorist supporters are in this country? Those are the ones that's protesting now in New York City and other areas, saying that Hamas is being treated unfairly. That's who is supporting those people by being here and working and sending money back over there. Round them up, put them in a big air balloon, and let them go.
And there's two sides to every story.
Listen, here's one thing I know for facts. That Israel and Palestinians have been fighting for 1,000 years. There's nothing we're going to do. So I say, let them fight their own fight. Stay out of it.
Old Yeller's Ghost said, how can you live in Florida and not be in the sun? Yeah,
That's true.
It's one of those things. We didn't plan it that way. He didn't have it when we moved down here. It's an autoimmune response, and we don't know where it comes from, but he just...
What'd you get me?
he just doesn't have much choice. So...
Milk!
Ron 5850 says he did what most Queens people do and moved out east. Damn autocorrect.
Do what now?
I don't get it. I don't know. He was talking to somebody else, I think.
Who are you talking to?
That was Ron 5850, and I think he was talking to someone else.
Oh, probably. A lot of these people on chat. It's another good reason to come here on our porch sitting on Wednesday. Is half these people on chat, they come on chat to talk to other people that come on the chat.
Yeah, and I said, usually what we don't know, they do.
Yeah.
And I said, we like that, because that way it gets your questions answered.
Yeah.
And a lot of them we can't get to. Sometimes there's so many.
Just because I live here don't mean I know everything here. And I've always said that. The village is getting so big now, I can't keep up with all this stuff.
And we don't
Just
get
like
to the southern end of
for
law.
next Friday, you're going to hear on the news where District 7, what do I keep hearing?
Weed eating, probably.
That next, in District 7, they just had a vote, 3-2, to do away with anonymous complaints. So, things change all the time.
Yeah. And in Kristen, he has what they call vitiligo. And that's the sensitivity to the sun. And he actually blisters.
Oh, who,
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Vitiligo is what it's
Yeah,
called.
I'm losing pigment. I've almost lost all my pigment.
Yeah, he's a white boy now.
I'm like a red-headed stepchild.
But yeah, he can't do a whole lot out in the sun. But like I said, that doesn't keep him in the house all the time.
No, there's things when we go to Rockport. My cousin-in-law, I don't even know what do you call Margaret? Is she a cousin-in-law? She's married to my cousin.
Cousin's wife, just put it at
My
that.
cousin, okay. My cousin's wife. They got me they got a shirt down there that you can wear on the beach if you're real sensitive to the sun. It's made out of a special material, so you don't overheat. You can wear it in the water. It doesn't shrink, and it's in my camper, I think. I did wear it somewhere. Where did I wear that? We must have been up in Indiana or someplace, and I put it on, and then I put this shirt over top of it.
Oh, we went to the zoo.
Maybe that's what it was. The
Yeah,
zoo.
because it has long sleeves, and you
Yeah.
had that shirt over the
Right.
top of it.
And it does work. I didn't really get hot, and I didn't get burnt, except for the back of the hands, and I refuse to wear gloves.
But yeah, it was, the sun, walking through the zoo, there was a lot of sunshine, and not that that's bad, it was a good thing, but yeah, that protected him somewhat from all the sunburn. It kind of looked goofy, but that's what they use, what the surfers use those when they don't want too much sun, because everybody's worried about melanoma nowadays, and so whatever that material
It's
is,
something to think about, especially down here.
yeah, well, whatever that material is, it's made for
I've
a
had two
certain
things dug out of
amount.
one thing on my back, one thing on my shoulders. They dug it out. Donnie over here was his nose. He had to have his nose actually.
Yeah,
He
your
had-
dad half his ear.
Yeah, but I'm talking people living here.
Yeah.
He had to have his nose operated on, I think, twice for melanoma.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a thing. And Jimmy Buffett died of some kind of skin cancer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Carol says that Florida Villagers 420 says, hey, we're moving there from the PNW. See you when we get there. Cool.
and Pacific Northwest.
There you go.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. I can understand why they want to get out of there.
Yeah.
They got problems up there too. Not all everywhere up there, but they have problems up there. But I will say, the first thing I was surprised about when I used to go up there during apple picking season and pick up a truckload of apples to bring them back to Indianapolis Indianapolis Fruit and Vegetable Company, is that is kind of like a tropical area up there. That little corner right there goes up like that. This area right here is tropical. Not to say they don't get cooler weather, but they very seldom ever get any snow. It just rains all the time. And I was kind of shocked by that. I thought anywhere up in that whole area up there would get cold and frozen, and it don't.
Bill Scarborough says 57 and overcast in Seattle. Headed for my first lifestyle visit November 29th. Can't wait. Well, come on down, Bill. I said it's beautiful down here.
That'd
You'll
be
like
like
it.
Thanksgiving weekend, right?
November 29th?
November?
Yeah, that's what
Isn't
it says.
Thanksgiving the last Thursday in November?
Yeah, that's about the 25th. I don't know what it is this year,
Oh.
but yeah. And William Nave says, greetings from southern New Jersey. Well, hello, New Jersey.
What mile marker are you next to?
I told somebody that the other day and they laughed. I said, yeah, they always tell you what mile marker
Yeah, I've known
or what exit.
New Jersey people are fun. I have fun with them here. They're great. I've never had a problem with any New Jersey person at all. They probably have more of a problem with me than I do with them.
Yeah.
But they're always telling me, Tom was one of them, I'm from the shores, or by the shores, or I'm from New Jersey off of mile marker 81.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but that's what they do.
Yeah, Marjorie Smith says SPF 50 on the back of your hands. Yes, he does that.
What's that?
SPF 50 on the back of your hands.
I have it in there. It's almost like putting on motor oil. It really is.
It
It's
is.
thick.
But that's the idea. That's what protects you.
And I do put it on, but it does wear off. And if you're out all day, it helps. There's no doubt it does help. But the thing is, I don't have no pigment on my face either. My neck,
His head.
my head, anything. I'm not smearing this greasy crap all over my face when I know I'm going to go out to, I don't know, walk around the beach for a couple of hours. And I know while we're over there at State Rockport, we're probably going to go to a restaurant. And you go inside the restaurant and you're all gooped up, and I just
That's
don't.
why a big hat helps.
Well, I do wear a hat on the beach.
But like I'm not talking a baseball cap. Your ears are exposed.
I wear that bucket hat usually when we go to the beach. Usually, not always though, but usually.
But like I said, it wouldn't hurt you to get a big straw hat. I know you think they're goofy.
I'm not wearing a straw hat. It looks like something you'd wear from a psycho ward.
And yes, Bill.
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee ha. To the funny farm, where basket weavers who knit and smile and twiddle their thumbs. They're coming to take me away.
Like Vic says, yeah, that is a busy time of the year. You know, from the last of October through March and April, it is the bird season. You know, and it gets pretty busy down here. Let me tell you, and it gets worse every year. So like I said, the traffic will be bad, the lines at the restaurants will be bad, but it's worth it. You know, wherever you're coming from, it's worth it. So,
I think it all
and the
depends
lifestyle
on-
visit gives you an idea.
I think it all depends on the mentality you got. I have no patience to start with. As you see, when I have problems here, I have no patience. So if I go to a restaurant and they say it's going to be an hour wait, I'm out of here. I ain't waiting an hour for nothing. There's no food here I've ever had that is worth waiting an hour for.
Annie Coughlin says Thanksgiving is the 23rd. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll be here like the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little crowded, more crowded then than normally in the summer months. But one, the weather will be good. You'll be good on the weather.
Yeah.
But two, you'll kind of get an idea of the beginning of Snowbird season as far as traffic goes and wait times at restaurants. Come January, it's hysterical around here.
Yeah, and you know, Cindy says to get the dry spray, and then we do have it, but like I said, I don't have a lot of it because I found out the dry spray and the waterless spray takes my nail polish off. And, you know, there's no sense in paying for all this if it's going to
Well, I
come
can't have that.
Well, I use it too on some things. I don't, you know, I don't put my face out in the sun, so I use the sunscreen. But like I said, I can't use the spray stuff, and which is very convenient. I like that idea, and you don't get that oily feel. But like I said, it does take my nail polish off. So, you know, I'm not going to pay for one and have to worry about it. So, Kristen Schnee said, first time I ever heard of melanoma was when I was stationed in Orlando in the 80s at the Naval Hospital. We worked on a lot of melanoma patients in the surgical clinic. Yeah, because this is the sunniest place. And I mean, you know, it's one of the reasons I love it here is because every day I get up and look at the sunshine. Now we have a few rainstorms and what have you, but usually it takes 20 minutes and it's back to sunshine. And I said, just does my heart so good when I get up and see that sun.
Do you guys love to stay home more when snowbirds come down to avoid crowds? Well, first of all, if you're new, my history is 38 years living in the cab of a semi-truck. So I'm a little bit of an introvert anyway. I have nothing about getting out and seeing people and talking to them. As you know, they drop by here all the time. I don't care. I'll get them a beer and we'll sit here all day and shoot the crap. But I don't really like going to large crowds like the squares. I just don't. And the other reason why I don't go to squares, I get this question a lot and do video and stuff, is because they play monetized music down there. And I can't put it on my YouTube channel. They demonetize me. And
which that demonetized means you don't get paid for
I don't get paid. And you guys don't give us enough super chats and super stickers or anything like that to allow me to do that. So what I do though, just so you know, for Patreon members, because they do pay, is I can take that with monetized music and put it on Patreon, and they can't demonetize me there. So they get that advantage that you don't get.
Right.
So, you know, that's why I just don't do some things down there. And large crowds, I'm not big on it. That's why I don't go to football games. That's why I don't go to baseball games. I just don't care for all that. And it ain't just me. I know a lot of people that did things like worked in an office their whole life in a small office. And then when they finally retire, they find themselves staying home a lot because they don't want to get out. Her dad was a truck driver. He never went anywhere.
No.
The day he retired, that was it. He never went anywhere because 30-some years of going everywhere.
Being on the road all the time.
And I'm kind of that way. I don't mind going somewhere. I think maybe that's why I like driving my RV for a couple of reasons. One, it kind of reminds me of being in a big truck again. The second reason is I don't have to deal with crowds or people. I can pull into a parking lot and go back there and take a poop. I don't have to get outside and do anything. Was that too much?
No.
Too much information?
But yeah, you know, Terry, it's just that way. You know, I'm not that way. I worked and raised kids, so I was stuck at home for years. So as soon as I get a chance, if anybody asks me, I'm out. I mean, he's good with it because he's his own best company. But I figure one of these days I won't be able to. You know, I'm getting to the weak point now where I worry about it. But when I get to the point to where the legs don't work anymore, yeah, I won't be able to go. But right now I can. So I'm going to make that time worthwhile for me.
Wrestler Mania's in the house.
Hey, Wrestler.
Yeah, I'm checking out that editor, Wrestler. I'm still having a dispute with the people I've been using all this time. Updates. And what they done is when they updated me, I paid for a lot of extra stuff on this system I've got. And they updated it. Well, when they updated things, all of a sudden, there's like 4 different editors that I can go to. The new editor, I tried it. It's okay. I'm not in love with it. It's a little more difficult to use. So I go back to the 2023 editor, which I paid for. And I open it up because that's the one I've been using all this time. I'm satisfied with it. I know how to use it, and I just wanted to go back to it. Now it won't open up. It says I have to have an activation key. So I've been emailing them 4 times now saying, I need an activation key for this editor that I paid for. You need to send me an activation key. And I'm not hearing anything from them. This is a problem you have when you do business with people in foreign countries. There's no recourse.
Yeah. Well, hi, Carol. How are you? And I said, we're doing great. And I said, you can see it's a beautiful day here. And we got a little bit of breeze going. It's really, really nice. Yeah, and Vic says, believe it or not, there are restaurants outside the villages.
There's what?
Oh, there's our button.
Okay, I guess that's our time limit. And what do you say now, real quick?
He said, believe it or not, there are restaurants outside the villages.
Oh yeah, we go to them all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, some of them I prefer, like Oakwood Fire and Grill.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that place.
You know, both of them are outside the villages, but they're in a close distance.
Yeah.
But they're outside of the villages. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of them outside the villages. I can't even name them. What's that one that we went and got spaghetti and stuff at, and the people there are Italian and they yell back and forth, and we went there with Skip and his wife years ago. Giovanni's. No.
Giovanni's
No,
and
it began with an S. Going down 27 and 441, down here on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay. Stavros.
Stavros is one. I like it.
Yeah. And Francesca's is my favorite.
Yeah. So there's a lot of places outside the villages to go to. And like I say, a lot of them, I prefer to go to them. It's just that inside the villages, because we're a golf cart community, if you're a business, I can understand why you'd want to be in the villages, because if you're not golf cart accessible, there's a lot of people here that simply won't go to your business.
Yeah, and there's times like after I had my accident, I didn't have a car for a month. All I had was the golf cart. So it does pay to have them, in the villages.
All right, we're out of here. We had our limit and we've run out of time. I'm glad the microphones worked. Hopefully this next Wednesday, everything will work and be okay. I got to check out buying a new iPad, I think.
Enjoy your weekend.
I'm a tight ass. I don't like spending money. Okay. Thanks all the moderators for coming. Appreciate every one of you. Enjoy the weekend. And we'll see you when you get here. I shouldn't say that. That's somebody else's line. See you on the other side.
There you go.